Hello, everyone. This is Gerald for Tech Tuesday, and this week we're going to talk about Google Sheets. So, for those of you who don't know, Google Sheets is the G Suite version of what Microsoft calls their Excel app. And I'm going to start you off by showing you two ways that you can get to Google Sheets. So, the first one is by getting on Google, first of all, and then clicking on this, the Google Apps icon, and then just looking for Sheets, and it will take you there. Another way to do it is just by typing in sheets.google.com, and it should take you to the same place. So once you're here, to create a new Google Sheet, all you have to do is look for that plus icon in the bottom right. If you hover over it, it's going to say create new spreadsheet. If you click on that, it's going to open up a new spreadsheet for you. And the first thing I would do once I create the spreadsheet is change the title. So to change the title, you just go and hover over the title. It's going to pop up that rename prompt. If you click on it, it's going to highlight the whole thing. Click the backspace button to delete it, and just type in your Google Sheets title. So say sample Google Sheet, and then press enter. So this is what a Google Sheet looks like. And just to go over the jargon a little bit, the sheet is subdivided into cells. A cell would be each one of these boxes that I'm clicking on. And these cells are arranged in columns, which are labeled with letters. And they're also arranged in rows, which are labeled as numbers. So for example, if I had some data in this cell, then I would say that my data is in cell D3. So I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do with Google Sheets. We can't go through all of them because it's going to take us forever to finish, but you have all these different options. So you have the file options, and it's the same for most Google documents. You have the new document, spreadsheet, and all that. If you wanted to create a new document, you can make a copy. You can download it as Excel, as CSV, as a web page, or as a PDF document. You can move it to different parts of your drive. So if you wanted to move it from one folder to another, this is what you're going to click on. Under Insert, this is, I think, the most powerful set of options that you have here. So you can insert a chart. I'll show you how to do that later on. You can also insert functions, which are different formulas that you can use. Let's say you have data set 1, data set 2, data set 3. So I'm just simulating a couple of data sets. And I'm going to look for their total and their average. I'm going to show you two ways to do that. So let's say for data set 1 you have 2. So to get the total, all we need to do is add these up. There are two ways to do this. I can go to the cell for that row and just put an equal sign and then select the cells that I want to add. So I chose D2 plus, then click on C2 plus B2 plus A2, and that is going to average that. I mean, it's going to get the total for that. Now, once I have the total for one row, once I have the formula for it, all I need to do is click back onto that first cell with the formula. And you're going to see that little square on the bottom right corner. If I hover over it, my cursor turns into a cross. If I drag it down, like what I'm doing, I just click dragged it and release. It's going to give you the total for each of the rows. So basically what happened there was that I just copy and pasted the formula into the rows underneath it. Now, another way to do it would be to go into Insert, Functions, and then Sum, so that I can just use the formula that's built into Google. Now, if you notice, there is that open and close parenthesis there. What it's asking me for is what are the columns that we're going to add up. So I'm just going to click and drag all of those columns that we're going to add up. I mean, cells that we're going to add up, and it's going to give me that answer. So again, I can click on it, hover on the square, click and drag it, and that's going to get copied. Now, I'm going to show you that same application here. One way that we can do the average is by saying I'm going to get that number divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to give you that. Or I could just insert functions average, and then I'm going to give it these 4 cells, and it's going to give me the average for that as well. So those are some of the things that you can do with that. If we go back to insert functions, you're going to see there's a whole lot more different options there. Okay, so now that we have our data set and our total and average, I'm going to show you how to put these in a graph. So to create a graph, all you have to do is click on Insert, Chart, and the graph's going to come out. However, the graph that I produced just now does not have any data in it because I didn't choose any data set. So I'm going to delete this chart, and I'm going to choose these data pieces and then click on Chart, and there you go. It gives you your data set. Now, even though we have a legend there, there's not really much that we can get out of this. So I'm going to delete it in a second, but let me show you the different kinds of graphs that you can make. So you can make a line chart, you can make a smoother line chart, a combo chart, and all that stuff. I'm just going to go with a bar graph for now. Go back to this, but I'm going to delete that and see how I can improve this. So let's say if I can add the headers in. Let's see how that changes. All right, so it gives you the data set as the x-axis, but still not much information we can get from it. How about if we do this? Include column number 1. So now that we've included column number 1, a whole bunch of information came out. So you have a legend for each data set, and each data set is subdivided into a set of bars for each day of the week. So our x-axis becomes the day of the week, and then for day 1, all of these data pieces are placed together under day 1, and so on and so forth. To edit it, all I have to do is say if I want to change the title, then I just double click on the title and say number of donuts per person per day, and I press enter, and that's going to be your title. If I wanted to put it in the middle, then I'll just click on that and it'll go to the middle. If I want to make it bold, do the same thing, just click on that. What else can we say? We can change your font type, and again, there's your chart title. You can change your series and all that. You can add a trend line to it, just so you know the trend for each of the data set, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to be able to go through all of these things just because we don't have that much time. This is more of an introductory tutorial for Google Sheets. If you want more information on how to modify or make this graph look better, just shoot Caleb or I an email, and we will be sure to come by and help you out with this.